Sure. Yeah, as a fellow aerospace engineer myself, I found that very relatable. Just want to point that out. In case you guys don't quite understand the selection of men in male-dominated professions, we have a display for you tonight. So I think I've made pretty good use of the pandemic. I've actually managed to lose 20 pounds, although I did gain 30. I just figure if I measure what comes out, I should be able to say I lost it. I don't know if anyone else has noticed, but these masks can be kind of inconvenient. Yeah, for real, they can. Yeah, what I really miss is using my teeth as a multi-tool. For instance, before the pandemic, if I was carrying something while wearing gloves, and then I want to use my phone, I'd just use my teeth to pry off my gloves or lick my phone. I just can't use my phone, you know? And, I'm 20 years old. That's also physically impossible. And, pretty unsafe compared to COVID, I would say. Yes, I do remember my next joke. Considering I do have a purple zebra stripe chin, I think it's pretty convenient that now everyone wears a mask. But no, I'm just kidding. I don't actually have a purple zebra stripe chin. I actually just have a chin tattoo that says Kanye West for President 2016. No, again, I'm just kidding. I don't actually have a chin tattoo that says Kanye West for President 2016 anymore. It says Oprah 2016 now. No, again, I'm just kidding. I don't have any chin tattoos, actually. I know, surprising. I actually was just born with this mask. Before you ask, yes, it was a genetic mutation. You see, both my parents were raccoons. Instead of getting my mask around my eyes, I got it on my chin. Really embarrassing. I did the weirdest thing the other day. I went to an in-person class. And my professor just did not like it when I tried to put him on 2 times speed. He actually got pretty angry, and then it really seemed like he was on 2 times speed. I think I'm gonna miss COVID though. It's made gold digging so much faster. You might have to think about that one. I think the worst COVID restriction though is that now all the single-stall bathrooms have a sign saying capacity of 1. That just ruined all my plans. Now I have no idea where to put all these people I've kidnapped. In women's bathrooms, they often have a sign that says, please don't flush feminine hygiene products, but I've never seen those in any of the men's bathrooms I've ever used. Men just must get better plumbing. It's pretty sexist to me. I've noticed a lot more men growing beards since the pandemic started. Haven't noticed nearly as many women growing beards. I'm not sure what's up with that. I think part of it might be that I just don't see as many women, especially considering, women aren't allowed in the stand-up comedy club. I just want to point out for that joke, I was kind of hoping to be the only female here, so it was kind of irritating when Cooper showed up and just ruined the whole Thanks, guys. I think growing a beard during a pandemic is actually a pretty good idea. What better way to get women to stop kissing you than to grow a beard, Yeah, I think nothing keeps away women quite like a beard, except for maybe like the personality of a man with a beard. As you can see, I've also stopped shaving. Yeah, that's why I look like a goat from the waist down. Yes, I do have blue leg hair, I know. I haven't managed to keep anyone away. The only way I've managed to keep men away is just to become a female comic. You wouldn't think you'd be able to find such good vodka in the middle of Indiana. But if there's one thing I'd like you guys to take from my speech, it's this. I think I could have killed Dumbledore better. That's all I'm saying.
I'm also a little dumb. That could also be it. This is half my bit, actually. There's the thumb. And I broke it. This is going great. All right, that's good enough. We're going to rock this. So, something funny. I have clinical depression. Nice. Yeah, I mean, I don't say it's a big deal. I mean, it's just another disability. I mean, I got my brain cells don't get the happy cells to where they need to go. I mean, you have erectile dysfunction, you also have cells don't going where they need to go, all right? Give me a break. I mean, mental illness is just other illnesses. You wouldn't, laugh at someone with diabetes like, this dude's pancreas doesn't work, what a bitch. I'm an open person. I kind of just, we have that question like, how you doing, right? But we never answer that honestly. So I always have the strongest words in the English language, and it's hanging in there. Because if you think about it, hanging in there just means your life is not perfect at the moment, which nobody is. So you're saying nothing, but you're not lying either. So that's pretty good, At least in America, we don't really answer that question, honestly. It is good if you don't want someone to talk to you. Someone comes like, hey, how you doing? And you're like, oh, not doing bad. Yesterday, I didn't get to bed till 5 a.m. because I saw a bunch of stuff that was reminding me of my dad dying and my friendship that I ruined completely and not being able to graduate because my GPA is so bad. But on the bright side, I did shower for the first time in 6 days. So, we're doing well. That's a joke, of course. It was 5 days. Yeah, no. I think something that's contributing to my depression is my major. I'm in mechanical engineering. Have any MEs here? What?
Going into ME.
All right, good fucking luck. Yeah, no, ME, God. I have never in my life seen so many white dudes. God. Day one of thermo, and I'm like, am I in a Sperry store? Like, what is this? A plethora of pastiness. A cornucopia of Caucasians. It's not that there aren't women and like non-white people, but it's just the white guys that are there, they are just so exceptional. Like, they cover the spread of just like the average white dude, all right? You have people who are just like the mathematical median white dude, so basically like 250 of me, all right? You have the frat boys who just never study, but they always get great grades, and you don't understand it. Like, how are they doing so well? The answer to that question, by the way, is cocaine. You have the autosexuals who are just obsessed with their cars, try to pick up a girl at the bar by talking about the transmission on their O2 Miata. Like, basically, ME, think of a huge fraternity, but everyone's a car guy and half of them are virgins. That's my major. Yeah, no. We've been talking about men and women a lot here. Something that's been going around recently is men are trash, right? We heard that one. And I won't lie, when I first heard it, I got a little bit defensive, like, I'm not trash, but I started volunteering at a daycare. Let me tell you something, men are trash, just like 100%, because I'm seeing the people that are going to become men, and they are just world-class assholes, okay? They hit each other, they fight. The girls are like nice, they share. All right, one of them ripped the toy out of her hand, and she goes, I'm like, if If that was the boys, we'd have like the FBI here. Like we'd have a disaster scene like Jesus. Yeah, I know. It's just insane. Like one time I was in the playground, this kid was crying. He was like, "Ugh," and I'm like, "What happened, man?" He's like, "In the face." He points to this other kid. So I go, I'm like, "Hey, how you doing?" He goes, "Eh." I'm like, "Did you hit him in the face?" And he goes, "Uh-huh." And I'm like, "Well, why'd you do that?" And he goes, "Because he wouldn't let me play with his fidget spinner." So he wouldn't let you play with his property. So you punched him in the face. It doesn't make sense on the surface, but you think about it, is that not just what we read in history textbooks growing up? Two dudes are just like, father and son are like, okay, listen, this here, you have to treat it carefully. This is an artifact that goes back generations for our people. This is signifying that you are a grown man now. You must cherish it and you must never forget this moment. Some white guy with 2 teeth walks up. "You know what? I quite like that instead." Two dudes. Wow, look at all this oil. Best part of living in Iraq, Dick Cheney. I think I've got an idea. Thanks all.
I'm sure all you guys have heard the joke that white guys can't handle spicy food. And today I'm here to tell you that is completely 100% true. I can't do spicy food. I just can't. Don't know why. But used to be way worse. Like way back in high school. I know, a long time ago. It was so bad that I'd be making tacos, and you know how you put like taco sauce on there to give it a little bit of flavor, right? I'd put some mild taco sauce on there, and I'd be like, "Holy shit! Who gave me the Diablo sauce?" Like, what the hell is this? Yeah, it was real bad. So, but a couple of years ago, I decided, just out of the blue, you know what? We're gonna do something about this. I'm sick of being the man who can't do spicy food. So, I was on vacation down over in Illinois. Yep, Illinois. But I went to this barbecue place. And, I sat down, looked at the menu, looked at all the food. I'm like, oh, wow, it's the exact same as barbecue. What do you know? But I saw that they had their barbecue sauces listed, and they had 4 different options that you could choose from. So first you got your usual mild, medium, hot, and then they had something that they called extreme. So normally I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna get the mild, and I'm gonna get about 3 glasses of water so I can actually make it through a normal meal. But for some reason, I started thinking, you know what? Today's the day. Today is the day. We are going to be bold. We are going to be adventurous. We're going to go out there. We're going to take a little tiny step, and we are going to increase it a little bit. So I got the extreme. Great choice. So I ordered it, and when the waiter told me, "Are you sure?" That's when I knew that's when I probably should have thought, oh, I maybe made the wrong decision. Because, waiters, they're trained to basically be able to handle just about anything. Like, you can walk up to a waiter and just say, "Yo, can I get an old tire and some fucking used motor oil?" And they'd just be like, "Sure, how do you want that cooked? Medium well?" Just no hesitation. It's insane. I don't know how they do it. But when I managed to get the waiter to say, "Are you sure?" That's when I knew I fucked up. I'm just like, I have done something bad. But I don't know, maybe it was the adrenaline, I don't know what it was. I'm just like, you know what, I'll be fine. I'll be fine. But so I wait 20 minutes, my food comes out, and as it's coming out, I can smell it. I can smell the heat coming off this barbecue sauce. And they set the food down on the table, and I can see it. It's like this little dip cup of it. And you know how most barbecue sauces, they're like a brownish, reddish kind of thing. The hot sauce is kind of like a little orange. Like even darker barbecue sauces, they still have a little bit of like a red undertone to it. No, this shit was pitch black. It looked like someone dumped a barrel of crude oil into a shot glass and then set it down on my plate. So I'm like, okay, I should probably try a little bit of this before I dip my entire brisket in this, just so I don't die on the spot. I don't want to die in Illinois. Bad idea. So I take a fry and I dip it in the extreme sauce. But me, in my infinite wisdom, instead of doing the sensible thing and just dipping a little bit in there to get a little taste of it, no, I dip the entire fry in there and stick the entire thing in my mouth, and I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad. It's got a little bit of a kick. It's not bad. But then a minute passes. And I'm like, okay, it's getting a little worse. And then another. Okay. And then another. And by like the third or fourth minute, I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is bad. This is bad. That's real bad. And by this time, I'd eaten like a bunch more of it, because earlier I'm like, oh, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. So by this time, it's like half a brisket worth of this barbecue sauce I've eaten at this point, and it's just building up and building up. And I'm like, I fucked up. This is a bad idea. So I'm sitting there, I'm sweating, and I'm just like, why? So I don't know if there's a moral to this story here. If you see crude oil masquerading as barbecue sauce, don't get it. Especially if you don't want to die in Illinois. Thank you.
I've seen a lot of engineers. Anybody in Chem E? Can I get some Chem E? Yeah? 1, 2, 2, 2. That really sums up Chem E. So I got into Chem E. I was like, listen, this is gonna be awesome. I love engineering. I like math. Chemistry, I can make some potions or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, something cool. That's not it. It's not it. And so, honestly, that's kind of why I'm here. It's not working out. I promised my parents I'd be here. It's the middle ground. I was either going to be a chemical engineer or a drug dealer, and it's kind of where we landed. I don't want to be a drug dealer because I thought about it and I was like, I'd like to live in a trailer and drive a Lamborghini. You know what I mean? That'd be really cool because drug dealers always drive nice cars for only nice cars. They live in the crappiest places. I couldn't do that to my DARE officer though. You guys ever take DARE? Ever heard of the DARE program? Yeah, DARE program? Oh yeah. Just in case you're not from the greatest country this world's ever known. The DARE program stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education. That's what the DARE program stands for. They do a shit job at doing that, by the way. It's the worst thing you could possibly go into. It's basically where a police officer busts into your third grade classroom and they're like, hey, don't you ever smoke pot. And half of them end up becoming potheads anyway, so it doesn't really matter. They tell you like the street lingo and everything too. Like they're like, yeah, don't do pot, LSD, this guy going listing them off. Like, you're helping me find drugs. Like, if I hear, I'm like, oh, that means that. Like, and you're telling it to third graders. They don't know how to weigh costs and benefits. You're telling them that a plant can make them feel euphoric. They don't even know what that means. They go home and Google it. They're like, ooh, feel really good. Okay, I'm gonna do that. No, that's definitely not how drugs work. You know what I mean? They also tell you some big lies. Don't accept drugs from strangers. Are you kidding me? If you ever just get randomly offered drugs at no additional cost, why wouldn't you take it? Why? Do you understand how expensive drugs are? I mean, that is such a deep, like a crackhead's gonna be, or a crack dealer's gonna be standing on the corner, like, oh my God, there's a child. What's a crack? No, we're not gonna do that, dude. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. I come from a place in Indiana that drugs are a problem, and I worked with a drug addict one time. I'm just gonna be real with you, I don't know if he's actually a drug addict. But mentally, it's easier for me to process that he's a drug addict. This dude's name's Rodney. Rodney, I don't really know how to break. Rodney is a 63-year-old dude. He's 6'3", 250, and it's a neuron deficiency. He's not smart. And it's really hard to talk to him, and I'm pretty sure it's from drugs. Not for sure, don't want to assume anything. But he's been through a lot. He always tells me about the new drugs on the street. I don't think he does them, but he always tells me about them like I'm interested, and I don't understand why. He went to jail. It was labeled as he violated a restraining order. I'm pretty sure he stabbed 2 people. And I don't think he wants to admit that to me, and I understand why. But getting into the stabbing, he was a dishwasher at work, and he worked with one of my buddies. His name is Grant. I call him Gummy Worm for short. And Gummy Worm, you remember those little worm things on a string with the big old eyes and the long ass nose? That's what Gummy Worm looks like. And he's like 6'6", 80 pounds max. And real scrawny looking dude. And we have a thing. I work at a pizza place, and we have a scraper. So on one side is a brush, and then the other side is a blade, and it's for scraping the stone, cleaning out the oven. Gummy Worm is spraying off dishes. My man Rodney comes up behind him, and he's holding the blade, and he's probably about from me to the stand. This is Gummy Worm. Rodney's just looking at the blade, and he just says, "Man, I wonder how I feel to hit a motherfucker with this one time." I've never seen the fear of God in someone's eyes before. It was intense. This dude froze. He was like, Rodney quit like a week later, and we lost one of the oven heads. I don't know where it went. I think he stole one of the blades. And if I see a death in a newspaper, I'll make sure to let you guys know, because that is going to be Rodney. So, I appreciate you guys.
Let's do this. So I don't feel too good going after the previous guy. He's pretty funny, but it makes me feel better that he looks like white Gabriel Iglesias. So felt pretty weird putting on these gloves. Felt like your prostate exam, spread your legs, Mr. Jenkins. But please do get your prostate checked. Be careful though. If the guy has both hands and on both shoulders, watch out. Oh, it's about to fuck you up. So. What I'm about to tell you guys is a true story. I think I'm a good person. I hold the door open for people. I pay most of my taxes. But what the issue is that I think as a kid I should have been sent to some sort of kiddie jail. Kiddie jail where they have the little outfits and little shower heads and little bars of soap that you can drop. But you shouldn't be laughing at that. That's not funny. Okay. So. Me and my friend, Franko, we were walking around my neighborhood, walking this alley, where all good stories happen. And we see a koi fish pond. Koi fish? I don't know what koi fish are. I think it was koi fish. So we get this brilliant idea. Hey, let's go play with koi fish. Let's go jump in the pond, play with the koi fish. So we don't ask the neighbors, we don't knock on the door saying, "Hey, Mr. and Mrs., whatever your last name is, can we play with the koi fish?" No, we didn't do that. We hopped the fence. And we tried to reach in the water, try to grab one, want to play with them. We couldn't. So what I offer up? I offer, hey, let's get a shovel. Let's get a shovel and dig one out. So we go to my stepdad's garage. He wasn't my stepdad yet, He was still a motherfucker, but no, he was actually a good guy, but I still mean motherfucker. So we go to his garage. It was unlocked, which if there's anyone to blame in this story, it's him. Who leaves a garage door unlocked for 8-year-olds to get in? We grab the shovel, we go back in the alley, we go over the fence, we hop the fence, we get in the little koi fish pond. We use a shovel. Well, actually, I don't use a shovel. I'm on lookout. In case you old pesky adults trying to stop us from trying to play with the koi fish. My friend Colby, He's trying to get in the koi fish pond. He's trying to dig a fish up. You want to play with it. And he drops the fucking shovel. And it beheads a koi fish. When I say bloodbath, I mean that literally. Fucking beheads a koi fish. So we run. He runs to his house, I run to mine. I open the back door, I stomp in, go to my bedroom. I yell to my mom. I don't know why I yelled to my mom. I said, oh, my pants are wet because there was a puddle. There was a puddle. And my mom, being the bitch that she is, decided to investigate. That whore. She knocks on the door, knock, knock, knock. Walks in, said, what is up, Jackson? Why are your pants wet? And like an origamist, I folded hard. Mom, I'm sorry. I used a koi fish and I dropped the shell and it, you get the story. And my mom yelled at me hard, why in the hell would you try and play with the koi fish and you would kill one? You killed a neighbor's koi fish. You destroyed property. You murdered an animal. That's like the one thing you don't do. You don't murder animals. You can do anything else in the world, don't murder animals. And I mean that. Like, commit murder, don't care. Just, as long as it's not an animal. So she makes me change my pants and walk over to the neighbors. She doesn't get my friend Colby. No, only I have to do this. I have to go to the neighbors and apologize. Now, for the rest of the story, I will not be telling you from my perspective. I will be telling you from my neighbor's perspective. So, my neighbor, middle-aged, has a wife, has no kids, for good reason. Kids suck. Example A. He's chilling there, watching whatever bullshit's on, Jeopardy, Wheel of Fortune, you know what old white people do. And he gets a knock on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Now, this was like 2010, so there's no Uber Eats. There's no Amazon, so like, there's no reason for anyone to be knocking on your door. You don't have friends, you're watching Jeopardy, so clearly you don't have any, you don't have any friends, so like, think, okay, you know what? It's a Jehovah's Witness. They're coming here to tell me why I shouldn't celebrate Christmas or my birthday, because that's what religious people do. So they open the door, and it's not a well-dressed Mormon, not a Jehovah's Witness. It is a mom and her bitch-looking son. And it's like, oh, am I about to get like cookies? Like free, like really cheap, but like really good tasting cookies? No. The mother looks angry. The bitch of a mother looks angry. The little kid looks like he wants to cry. No, he is already crying. He is crying. And his clothes are wet. Not his pants, because mother made him change his pants. He is wet and he is crying. And so clearly, you let the people in because they want to talk to you about something. You sit back in your chair, and the mother, she's firm. She's staring at you like, Jackson, tell him what you did. Mom, I don't want you to tell him what you did. I'm going to slap you. My mother just stood there in silence as I blittered on for 5 minutes. So this man just sees his child blittered on for 5 minutes about how he and his friend murdered his koi fish in his pond. These two little kids broke into his property, took one of their fish and murdered it, and left the murder weapon there at the scene of the crime. This is the worst game of Clue he has ever played. And the kids abandoned it. And they were just going to abandon it. That was their plan. That was their high-stakes plan. This is like the worst Ocean's 11 movie. So, the kid, finishes telling you the story about how you murdered his fish. And then the mother has the audacity to ask you, hey, can you go get the shovel, please? Can you get the murder weapon? And you want to take that shovel and hit the people with it. You want to hit them hard. But don't read them. You grab the shovel, you give it to the kid, and you tell him to fuck off. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Sucks I don't have gloves, unfortunately. I wanted to sit up here and just kind of fiddle with them while you guys laughed at me. Low effort shit. It's kind of my whole deal. I'm not really too good at this. Sorry if I look a little tired. I gave blood earlier. I mean, don't call me a hero. I am O positive though, and I am positive I am better than all of you half-bloods. It is kind of like a weird concept though, It's like this one building It's this one building in the entire, like in the whole city, and it sucks the life juice out of you, and then you get like some socks, you know? It's only one building, 2 actually. I'm in town for the next week, just like. But they asked you like a fun little question, right? Have you been to the 90s have you been to Britain in the 90s? Now, I think that's a really weird question because I don't remember 9/11. So I don't understand how that applies to me, but I do get it. I mean, if you're donating blood, if you're donating plasma, if you're donating whatever, that's going to somebody. And I mean, I don't know anybody who wants to have their kid getting dropped off, you know, poor kid's got cancer, right? Comes out of the hospital going, "It's Tuesday, isn't it?" I don't know. I'd end it right then and there. I don't know. I think a lot about what my kids are gonna think of me, you know? I think that comes because I think about my parents a lot and what they did. Sometimes you're just talking to your dad and he drops some bombshell, you know? Never talks about his childhood once, and then he brings up, "I killed 3 men in a car in the 1963. And then it all makes sense why he's so against cancel culture. But anyway, yeah, I'm trying to beat my mom right now. She faked 2 suicides at Goucher. I'm not sure how she did it, but she got her number retired from the basketball team, and you know, I'm not there yet. I feel like though, I think I'm gonna do it. I've lit myself on fire 3 times, and I'm pretty sure I've been blacklisted from just about every single one of the tour groups. I work over at Ford, so I get to see them pretty often, and they be talking about shit that I've never even heard of. I applied to this school blind. I'm a freshman, as you can tell. I applied to this school blind, not knowing anything, and they'll be talking about something, and I think that it's a really fun game to play to make myself look as insane as I possibly can. And I challenge you guys to do the same thing, you know? Walk around with a coffee cup, start screaming about 5G and, you know, microchips, and I don't think that there's a negative consequence that can come out of that. Call me a bad person, but that's more scholarship money. I don't know, man. I think I think COVID's a really great thing. I'm super into like old people stuff. I mean, I know a lot of people, and I heard it earlier. COVID's fantastic especially for us weird people. I'm a man of potential, right? Unfulfilled potential, but still potential all the same. You can't see it, thank God. I have this awful mustache that I'm growing right now, and I'm not shaving it anytime soon. I keep it because as soon as the summer hits and I'm allowed to take this thing off, as soon as I get that second dose, I think people are gonna see me, go, "Damn, he's ugly, but he can change." See, they're gonna walk up to me, they're gonna start that conversation. They're gonna be, "Hey, how you doing? What's going on?" And by that point, they're in too deep. They're in far too deep. And I know I recognize a couple of you in the crowd, and some of y'all recognize my conversations. Some of y'all know what I talk about on a daily basis. And I am so sorry if I've sent you pictures of fetuses in the past 6 months. I know a lot of you are going like, "Oh, I didn't ask." That's fantastic, so I'm gonna tell you anyway. You can acquire them for about $2,000 from about any university, and I think that's really, really cool. And yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with that, but anyway, if any of you guys, I think it's actually a really great party conversation starter, right? I actually have a couple of wet specimens I did myself. I'm in animal science, just to like let you guys know. This is a really fun transition. I have a couple of wet specimens. I have a couple of pig fetuses laying around, and I think it's a great thing because, you know, I can walk up to somebody as soon as like all the frats and like parties start opening up. I can walk up to a girl and go like, "Hey, you know what? Your head would look great in a jar." Honestly, as I said, I'm trying to make myself look as unhinged as possible. I think I'm starting to do that now. I don't know. Did they mention my name earlier? I hope not. It's Matt. No, yeah. Anyway, for those of you that recognize me, no, you don't. Shoot. Anyway, That's all I got. I already lost the rest of my shit.
What the fuck is up? What's up? I don't like using the word hate because I'm a big believer in bringing positive energy into the world. But there are only two things that I hate. Only two. And I am one of them. The first thing that I hate are people that when it's either snowing or extremely cold outside, they still decide to put on shorts. That shit fucking pisses me off. No, seriously. It's almost like they have some sort of point they want to prove to us, like they're superior or some shit. And I'm not gonna point any fingers, but I just gotta say, usually it's the white guys that are doing it. I don't know. But the other thing that I hate are cheaters. Yeah, I'm a cheater. And before you judge me, before you hate me, let me explain myself. Okay, so it was senior year of high school, right? And I was only dating this girl for like 3 months or something like that. And to be honest with you, I'm a complicated guy. I'm hard to figure out. So when things got rough, my girl treated me like a calculus 3 test. She got confused and cheated on me. So I was like, okay, back then I was really immature. So instead of me just saying, all right, we're done, we're dropping it, no, I say, okay, we're cheating now, all right, game on, bitch. No, but the real reason my relationship ended is because I got caught up in a lie. Because she was asking so many questions. She would ask me, why are you always getting home so late? Why are you always tired in school? And most of all, where are all these bruises coming from? And I'm like, yo, stop asking all these questions. And I'm ducking and dodging. And eventually, I just come clean. I say, you know what? I look her dead in the face. I say, listen, baby, I'm not supposed to tell nobody this, but I'm a superhero. But no, I've been cheated on though. And I love women still, you know what I mean? Can we all agree that hating the opposite sex because of one bad situation is the weirdest shit ever? Can we all agree about that, right? Yeah, no, like I love women. I came from a woman. How can I not love women? You know what I mean? But the thing is, I cannot be a woman because you all go through way too much shit for me. You got the weird guys in the DMs. You got the weird guys in real life. Once a month you bleed, and sometimes it comes with hella pain. If you wear heels for too long, hella pain. And when you give birth, excruciating pain. That's way too much fucking pain for me. I could not be a woman, but I could be a baby. Because think about it. Babies have no fucking responsibilities. I mean, being a baby is so fucking easy. You would never have to worry about turning in a 4-page paper with 30 minutes left due before the deadline or nothing like that. You don't have to take care of yourself. You literally eat and shit on yourself and someone cleans it up. And when you do bad shit or say bad shit, no one ever says, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? No one says that to a baby. They're always like, hey, what are you doing? Who taught you that? Could you imagine if I was like a white toddler or some shit and I'm just sitting there and I just go, nigger. And the mom is like, hey, stop that. Who taught you that? Morgan Wallen taught me that. You know the best part about being a baby too? All you have to do is scream and somebody shoves a titty in your mouth. So it's like, it's a win. It's definitely a win. Yeah, I really miss childhood though. Like I miss childhood. Like I would give anything to be a kid again. Like I miss being a little boy. I would love being a little boy. Actually, I don't know. If I were Catholic, I don't know about that. But I miss childhood. And coincidentally, remember that DARE program? I know somebody was talking about in the audience. The DARE program that they talked to us, that bullshit, yeah, that fucking anti-drugs propaganda bullshit they told us as a kid with that bitch-ass lion. Remember that nigga? Yo, we all let that nigga down for real. I know he's rolling in his grave somewhere because I'm high right now. No, seriously though. Fun fact, the DARE program was actually created in 1983, And that was around the same time that Ronald Reagan was funneling crack cocaine into the black community. And this nigga Darren the Lion knew about it all the time. That nigga definitely didn't go to heaven. Thank you for having me. I go by the name of Franko.
Some people tell me, Randall, you seem like a school shooter. And I tell them, oh yeah? Well, which school did I shoot? They don't have an answer. Not a very straight shooter, if you ask me. Well, guess we gotta get down to brass tacks. Some of you might not like this turn of phrase, but I become black-pilled. It's true. Neo took the red pill, stayed in Wonderland. I've taken the black pill, now I'm in Blunderland. I looked up how much money OnlyFans made in total. That's the joke. Yeah, that's the joke. That's the joke.